Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Private Dave, and as you may remember, I recently did a replay contest, and here is your winner, Wannagod. If you're watching this video, you are the winner of the replay contest with this T71 replay you sent in. So, by the time you're watching this, you should be getting your gold. So, congratulations. It's a pretty good game. Now then, he's going to the left flank, and he's going to try getting into the little indent over here. And he spots a T110E5, and it's getting pretty messed up. He also spots this pattern, which is going to be important in a second. So he's coming up here to see if he has a shot on him, but the way it's angled, he doesn't really have a good shot, and the pattern takes a big old chunk out of his health, which is not really a good thing in a scout tank. You generally want your hit points. So he's most likely going to have to play more cautious because of that. At least I would assume so. But I don't really play scout tanks that much, so I could be wrong. So he's still watching that T110E5, and he's kind of going over here seeing if he can spot anything in the middle, like the pattern. So far he hasn't spotted anything, but that T110E5 is getting pretty badly damaged, and he's peeking up. He has a tiny shot on the back of it, gets a good hit there, another good hit, he backs up and kills it. So he just managed to kill the enemy's tier 10 heavy tank, which is a good thing. Now then, he spots a damaged object 140, aiming in, it kinda goes behind the building. Still reloading as well, and it dies. Now as you can see, the pattern is still there, and there's an undetected T71. So he's just kinda sitting here, watching there. I assume he's trying to detect them, and as you can see, he's moving out again, kinda looking to the left, seeing if there's any other tanks there. Because generally speaking, in random games, like, if a tank, like the Russians have, like, if it's a medium tank, like the Russians, where they have good turret armor, they tend to rush to the building and try spotting tanks for any tank turrets in the woods. So he's kind of checking to see if any of them are doing that, but they aren't. Looking at the pen, which seems to be kind of in a position where you can shoot him and the middle at the same time. So keep an eye on that, and just kind of waiting, really. Patton pops up again, seeing if he has a shot. He does not, and it's dead. So he's gonna move up a little bit and kind of keep popping up and dropping down, and then go over here. And he runs into an IS-8, stock IS-8, so it has the first turret on it. I think it has the upgrade gun though. But yeah, he requests fire on it, which is generally a good thing to do when you're a scout, to let your team know to shoot stuff, because they tend to not pay attention. Now, he's getting rid of the building because it's an IS-8, so it doesn't have a lot of armor. So if he has if he can hit like the flat part of the hull, he can probably penetrate it. But that one bounced. It looked to me like it hit the pike on it, so kind of to be expected. I have no idea what this is. I think this is a misclick, but as you're probably gonna notice throughout the video, there's a bit of derpiness in the video, I guess, or the replay. So for all I know, he probably wasn't even looking that way. But yeah, he's going for another reload, seeing if he can spot the IS-8 again, and if his team wants to actually shoot it or not. Spots the T-71, which is in that little indent on the island, which is kind of an interesting position. Though I assume he's probably proximity detecting the E-75 there. Now this is kind of a funny moment here. He rams into the building, thinking that the Havoc engine is installed. Which, in his defense, this replay is from like right after the patch came out, so not many people knew. But as you can see, he's putting in chat, asking if it's in or not, and the already replies no. So there's that. As you can see, he's disappointed that he couldn't drive through the building, which is to be expected. Everybody just wants to, you know, drive through buildings and tanks. That's our life goal, isn't it? To just, you know, run over buildings. So he has to be careful because there's a T-95 there, as you can see, in the IS-8. And if the IS-8 gets a good roll, it can possibly one-shot him. So he's kind of going over here, and he's going to see if he can spot like the woods in the middle island. So he's behind the bush over here. T-95 gets detected, and I'm not sure if he detects that or if the Waffle or Waffenjager detects it. So this team's kind of taking blind shots at it for now, but it's a T-95, so most of them are probably bouncing. And time is in fact running down. There's only 8 minutes left. And for some reason his pretty much entire team is camping there. So he spots an E-50 in the middle, takes a shot, it stops backing up right as he takes a shot, so it misses. Fires another blind shot, and then goes for a reload. And the T-71 actually has a pretty quick reload. It's pretty fast for an autoloader. I think the only one other autoloader that can possibly compare to is the T-57. So he's aiming at the E-50, but it's kind of awkward. It looks kind of like it's behind the buildings, but I'm not exactly sure. It's a tree. Fires into the side, gets 2 good hits, and then he angles and bounces. So he goes for another reload, and I assume he's probably expecting his team to kill that, or both of those, but they, typical fashion, don't. Though he didn't have really a bad team per se. He had a pretty good or average team. Could have been a lot worse. So he's reloaded, gonna pop up again, see if he can spot them. Nothing. So he's gonna go back to around where he was before, see if he can spot the T-95. Then go into the bushes here, and still can't detect them. Spots the E-50. Now, he's aiming at the E-50, but he can't really get a good shot, so initially he's requesting fire. And then he's gonna start taking shots, but as you can see, it's not really going through. So he's kinda aiming at the upper plate and turret at first, but it's not really working. So he's gonna switch to the underbelly, see if that'll work, and then back to the turret. Just nothing happening. So he's requesting fire again. And this isn't actually a bad idea to be shooting at the E-50. He's in spotting range, but at the same time he's behind a couple bushes and trees that are in the way, so he can't actually be detected by the E-50. So as you can see, he's going for the underbelly, just still not going through. So he's going back to the turret, trying to shoot the cheeks, and that's not working either. So he goes for another reload, still not detected because the cover in between him and the fact that he's in a pretty small tank actually. He probably couldn't do this in like a mouse. I think it would stick out. So he his Type 59 finally helps him, and the E-50 turns and he gets a side shot and kills it, which is pretty good because that's another tier 10 that he's killed now. starts taking fire from the woods, which is most likely a Waffentrager. So he's kind of telling his team that there's just, there's stuff there, and moving up. And suddenly an AMX-50 appears. Reloading, firing, and getting some good hits on it. And it's kind of one of those things, like with the scout tanks, like the T-71 Chaffee. They don't hit you for that much damage, so most people tend to ignore them. But if you ignore them for long enough, you're gonna lose like 800 hit points like that 50B did, because he hit him 5 times. And sure, it was only like 100, 150 per hit. But that adds up after a while, which people seem to slightly forget, which can be kind of a good thing for scout tanks in most cases. So the tier 10s on his team finally appear to have woken up and decided to do something. Most of them are going to the middle, and AMX-50's back. He starts backing up just as he fires, so that misses, and now he's kind of in a trench, so he doesn't have a shot there. Goes for a reload and requesting fire, and this is where he starts to get kind of lucky, to say the least. So he's behind this building, and you can't tell that the T-95 fired at the guys in the middle. So he goes in front of him without knowing, I should add. And luckily he dies and wasn't loaded. But I say dies, but as you probably just noticed, for some reason with the auto aim in the replay, it like gets stuck on the building. Like, see that? I don't know what that is. It's kind of interesting. Goes for another reload, and he's about to get lucky yet again. And yeah, he just got tracked by a Waffentrager. It looked like it went to the side too, so that's extremely lucky. Now it looks like he had a shot in the low here, so he probably could have taken that hit and gotten an extra like 140 damage perhaps. And yeah, as I just noticed by the minimap, the low did indeed try to suicide, so I'm assuming that's probably an artillery player. Now he doesn't want to get hit by an arty, which most people would agree with, so he's kind of waiting for his team to kill it, which it's arty, so they should, be, jumping at the chance. Hits it once, and then the Waffentrager hits it, kills it, and now he's gonna, see what he can do, and just gonna go to the cap because the Waffentrager dies to the AMX-50. So not a bad game, actually. 1,781 damage with a T-71 in a tier 10 game. It's a pretty heavily tier 10 game too. So enough talking, let's go down to the after battle results. So here is the after battle result. That is the squeaky chair. I'm assuming it picked that up. So Master Tanker, just really nice. It's always good getting Ace Tanker. 38,000 credits, 2,592 experience, which is really good, and that is a double. So he didn't have premium on that. If he had premium, it would be 58,148 and 3,888, which is always good. Let's see. Does it show the critical in here? No. Does it? No. So he spotted quite a few tanks. Spotted the IS-8. Got 1,138 spotting damage. Spotted the Patton, got 159 damage on that. Spotted the Waffentrager, got 1,246 spotting damage on that. 236 on the T-95. 1,600 on the Waffentrager. 274 on the E-50. and 196 on the T195. Highest experience in the game, which is good. Got 2 kills, also good in a T71. Kind of in the middle for damage, but yet again, he's in a scout tank, and 1,923 damage is, you know, nothing to be disappointed with in, a scout, to say the least. So he got 4,849 spotting or assistance, 3 capture points because he didn't really get into the cap until the game was pretty much over. Pretty good travel distance. He took 2 hits, both penetrated, though one of them went to the track. Fired 30 shots, 22 hit, and 14 penetrated. And yeah, not a bad game at all, to say the least. So yeah, thank you for sending in the replay, Wannagod. Hopefully you enjoyed my video on your replay, and have fun with your gold, man. And keep on tanking. Thank you for watching, and